So this is how to use a sequencer on the Microfreak or by Arturia. Um, so basically, I'm going to go to a basic preset, and on the basic preset, I want to write a sequence. Okay, so I have to turn it on to sequencer mode. Now you'll see here that written in blue letters is sequence. Now if you press this, it lights up white, so that means it's actually an ARP. If you want to go to sequence, you have to hit Shift, which has a blue ring around it, which activates the blue stuff. But you hit Shift and then hit sequence, and then it turns blue. Now I'm in the sequencer, okay? I'm going to just change this to a supersaw. And while I'm in this sequencer now, there's a couple of controls here. So you can see all these buttons here, and this is what confused me the most. I didn't know what the buttons do. So essentially, this button here, if you look very closely in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a little play icon. And on this button, the bottom right-hand corner has a little circle which represents a recording icon. In this, it says B, which means this is pattern B. In this one, it has A, and this means it's pattern A. And this one has rest. So that means they're kind of like a blank note. So let's say I want to record a sequence into my synthesizer. First, I will press play just to see if there's any notes in there, and there's not. So I'll stop the playment and I'll hit the record button. Now, once I hit the record button, I'm in the sequencer mode, and you see steps 1 to 16. So I can put in some steps. And then when I play that, it's been recorded anyway. So it's gone in all 16 steps. Once you hit the 16, you can hit the record. Now let's say if I want to add a sequence to part B. So that was part A. So I'm going to go part B this time. I'll just play just to hear if there's any sequence there. There isn't. So let's say I'll do something like this. Right, so that's done because the record stopped. So let's play that one. So now I can switch between A and B on the live. So that's all well and good, but let's say I don't like this sequence I just made and I want to remove it. So if you want to delete the sequence from a pattern, what you need to do is you need to hold down this A pattern and you need to hold down the rest pattern. So you want to do these two together, and that should sequence A erased. Okay, so I just erase sequence A. If I want to relay sequence B, I probably have to hold down B and then hit the note, and then I've erased both sequences. So now there's nothing there. Yeah, nothing there. Now, let's say I wanted to record a new sequence. Okay. Now, what if I wanted to record notes live in on top of that? Let me just turn down the tempo a small bit. So this is to turn down the tempo. Now you can also get this thing called rate. So the time division, if I push that knob down, I get a time division. And if I play, if I hit the time division, which is show here, and I turn this, I can change the speed of the sequence, okay? 1/8, 1/4 triplet, 1/4. So I'm going to go with 1/8 because that's kind of easy. Now, let's say you're playing your song. You have this option to, while the music is playing, you can play notes on top of it and it'll stop the sequence, but when you take your finger off, the sequence will continue. So you can kind of input stuff over your sequences as well if you're doing it live. Now, if you wanted to add some extra notes on top of the sequence and replace notes that you had already put in, you can hit the record button and you press play. Sorry, my bad. You hit play and then you hit record. So you get the idea there. Now you also have some little options here. When you're playing your sequence, you have a spice option. So you'll notice there that when I do the spice option, basically I'm kind of like just cutting up some of the notes and making it a little more spicy. You also have a dice option. And the dice option will kind of randomize it a small bit. Same with the spice option, they'll just add a different variance. There's also a pitch mode. Now on top of that, you can actually fine tune your sequence and you can record modulation as well. So let's say if I go into the record mode, hit record, got my steps, you can go through each step individually by turning this knob here. And you can change the notes of those steps. So once I push a note, it's going to input into that sequence. And it'll move on to the next note. And then I can go back and listen to it. Now not only that, but you can move the faders and all this kind of stuff. So let's say if I want to kind of record some automation, I can do it step by step. And some notes. Let's see what that sounds like. I can also add gaps into that sequence if I just hit the record, and as I'm cycling through the steps, I hit this button, and when I hit this button, it skips the step. Skip the step, skip the step, skip a step. So that's basically all it is. There's a step. There's a couple of other things that are kind of with this, but I might cover them in another video. But that's the kind of basics. Something that I needed to record because I need to know this for my own good. But yeah, please like and subscribe to the channel, and if you want anything else done on this synthesizer, let me know.